everyone, and welcome back to my stream where I'm going through the New Player's Handbook brought to us by Wizards of the Coast. For today, we will be going through the new and improved Monk section. So, to kick things right off, the primary core Monk traits are Dexterity and Wisdom. Their hit point die is a D8 per Monk level, and they are proficient in Strength and Dexterity saving throws. As far as their skill proficiencies, they get to choose two from Acrobatics, Athletics, History, Insight, Religion, or Stealth. And they are proficient in simple and martial weapons that have the light property. And they are also proficient in either an artisan's tools or a musical instrument. They have no armor training. And then for their starting equipment, you get to choose a spear, 5 daggers, artisan's tools, a musical instrument, or a chosen instrument for the tool proficiency above. They gain an explorer's pack and 11 gold pieces, or just 50 gold pieces. Now, monks use rigorous combat training and mental discipline to align themselves with the multiverse and focus their interpersonal reservoirs of power. Different monks conceptualize this power in various ways, as breath, energy, life force, essence, or self, for example. Whether channeled as a striking display of martial prowess or as a subtler manifestation of defense and speed. Oh, hi, buddy. You just knocked all my stuff right out of the way. My cat Bean says hi. Alright, so, where was I? So, they can channel uncanny speed and strength into their attacks with or without the use of weapons. In a monk's hands, even the most basic weapons can become sophisticated implements of combat mastery. Many monks find that a structured life of ascetic withdrawal helps them cultivate the physical and mental focus they need to harness their power. Other monks believe that immersing themselves in the vibrant confusion of life helps to fuel their determination and discipline. Monks generally view adventures as tests of their physical and mental development. They are driven by a desire to accomplish a greater mission than merely slaying monsters and plundering treasure. They strive to turn themselves into living weapons. So, out the gate at level 1, you gain all the core stuff found over in here, and then you also get that when you do a multi-class. Now, as far as your features go, you get, at level 1, martial arts. Your practice of martial arts gives you mastery of combat styles that use your unarmed strike and monk weapons, which are the following: simple melee weapons, martial melee weapons that have the light property. You gain the following benefits while you are unarmed or wielding only monk weapons, and you aren't wearing armor or wielding a shield. So, you get a bonus unarmed strike that you can make as a bonus action. You have your martial arts die. You get to roll 1d6 in place of the normal damage of your unarmed strike or monk weapons. This die changes as you gain monk levels, as shown in the martial arts column of the monk features table. Dexterous attacks. You can use your dexterity modifier instead of your strength for the attack and damage rolls of your unarmed strikes and monk weapons. In addition, when you use grapple or shove option of your unarmed strikes, you can use your dexterity modifier instead of your strength modifier to determine the save DC. You also gain access to unarmored defense. This is why they don't have training in armor. While you aren't wearing armor or wielding a shield, your base armor class equals 10 plus your dexterity and wisdom modifiers. Then at level 2, you gain Monk's Focus. Your focus and martial training allow you to harness a well of extraordinary energy within yourself. This energy is represented by focus points. Your monk level determines the number of points you have as shown in the focus points column of the monk features table. In the previous edition, these were referred to as key points. Alright. Now, like with every other class we've gone through, we have our handy-dandy table here, which takes you through everything. So for right now, we're just going to focus on your focus points, your martial arts dice, and your unarmed movement. So at level 2, your movement speed increases by 10. You have 2 focus points, and your martial arts die is 1d6. Now your focus points go up to 3 at level 3. level 4 at level 4. And then at level 5, your martial arts die become 1d8. You gain 5 focus points, and you're still at a 10-foot increase to your speed. Now at level 6, your focus points go up to 6, and your movement speed goes up to 15. At level 7, the focus points go up to 7. Then at level 8, they go up to 8. Level 9, they go up to 9. 10, 10. You're starting to get the trend here. Unarmed movement, however, at level 10 goes up to 20. And this kind of continues like so until you reach level 14, where you have 14 focus points and 25 additional movement speed. And your martial arts die increases also. And then from levels 15 to level 17, you're at that 1d10, and then it increases to 1d12. And then from then on, you're stuck at 1d12 with an increasing amount of focus points every level, and your movement speed increases to 30 feet starting at level 18. Now, as for the points themselves, you can expend these points to enhance or fuel certain monk features. You know 3 such features: Flurry of Blows, Patient Defense, and Step the Wind, and each of which is detailed below. When you expend a focus point, it is unavailable until you finish a short or long rest, at the end of which you regain all your expended points. Some features that use focus points require your target to make a saving throw. The save DC equals 8, plus your Wisdom modifier and proficiency bonus. So with Flurry of Blows, you can spend a point to make 2 unarmed strikes as bonus action. And then you can also do Patient Defense. You can take the Disengage action as a bonus action. Alternatively, you can expend a focus point to take both the Disengage and the Dodge actions as 1 bonus action. And then finally, Step the Wind. You can take the Dash action as a bonus action. Alternatively, you can expend 1 focus point to take both the Disengage and Dash actions as a bonus action, and your jump distance is doubled for the turn. Friendly reminder, you guys, don't forget to hydrate, otherwise you'll feel real bad. Alright, so your unarmed movement. Your speed increases while you aren't wearing armor or wielding a shield, and that increases as we went through with the table. Now at level 2 you gain a new thing they've called Uncanny Metabolism. When you roll initiative, you can regain all expended focus points. When you do so, roll your martial arts die and regain a number of hit points equal to your monk level plus the number rolled. Once you use this feature, you can't do it again until you finish a long rest. So that's kind of like the fighter ability that they have. Now at level 3, you get some wacky stuff. It's called Deflect Attacks. When an attack roll hits you and its damage includes bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage, you can take a reaction to reduce the attack's total damage against you. The reduction equals 1d10 plus your dex modifier and your monk level. If you reduce the damage to 0, you can expend a focus point to redirect some of the attack's force. If you do, choose a creature you can see within 5 feet of yourself. If the attack was a melee attack or so sorry. Or a creature you can see within 60 feet of yourself that isn't behind total cover if the attack was a ranged attack. That creature must succeed on a dex saving throw or take damage equal to 2 rolls of your martial arts dice plus your dexterity modifier. The damage is the same type dealt by the attack. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all, actually. So out the gate, you're going to be doing potentially 2d6 damage to them if you can pull that off. It's not bad at all. Now at level 3, you get to gain your Monk subclass, and this really affects how you fight going forward. So, the ones that they've revised, alright, they've changed the verbiage here, so you gain the Monk subclass of your choice: the Warrior of Mercy, Warrior of Shadow, Warrior of the Elements, and the Warrior of the Open Hand. Those are the ones that they've revised in this edition. Level 4, you get your Ability Score Improvement or a feat. Level 4, you get Slow Fall. You get to take a reaction when you fall to reduce any damage you take from the fall by an amount equal to 5 times your monk level. So you can always reduce it at least by 5. Now at level 5, you get your extra attack. At level 5, you also gain Stunning Strike. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with a monk weapon or an unarmed strike, you can expend 1 focus point to attempt a Stunning Strike. The target must succeed on a con saving throw, and on a failed save, the target has the stunned condition until the start of your next turn. On a successful save, the target's speed is halved until the start of your next turn, and the next attack roll made against the target before then has advantage. Alright, that's a good way to either, if you manage to get a hit off but you know they have a high AC, you can either give yourself advantage and all that jazz, or you can give it to someone else at the end of your turn. Now at level 6, you gain Empowered Strikes. Whenever you deal damage with your unarmed strike, it can deal your choice of force damage or its normal damage type. Fantastic. Then at level 7, you gain Evasion. When you're subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw or to take only half damage, you instead take no damage if you succeed on the saving throw and only half damage if you fail. You don't benefit from this feature if you are incapacitated. Now at level 9, you gain Acrobatic Movement. While you aren't wearing armor or a shield, you gain the ability to move along vertical surfaces and across liquids on your turn without falling during the movement. Now that's something they've added, which is very nice. That used to be a Step of the Wind feature that you would have to activate. Now at level 10, you get Heightened Focus. So all of your stuff from your original focus stuff is increased. So Flurry of Blows. You can expend 1 focus point to use Flurry of Blows and make 3 unarmed strikes with it instead of 2. With Patient Defense, you gain a number of temporary hit points equal to 2 rolls of your martial arts die. And then with Step of the Wind, you can choose a willing creature within 5 feet of yourself that is large or smaller, and you move the creature with you until the end of your turn. The creature's the creature's movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. I like that a lot, because while in the previous edition Monk was very busted at your early levels, it kind of fell off towards the higher level point of the game, typically around level 10. So this is nice to see. Alright, so then again at level 10 you also get something called Self-Restoration. Through sheer force of will, you can remove one of the following conditions from yourself at the end of each of your turns: charmed, frightened, or poisoned. In addition, foregoing food and drink doesn't give you levels of exhaustion. Alright, I have yet to play under a DM who actually deals with food in a serious manner, so I don't worry about it too much. At level 13, you can deflect energy. Your deflect attacks feature can work on attacks of any damage type, not just bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing. At level 14, you get Disciplined Survivor. Your physical and mental discipline grant you proficiency in all saving throws. Additionally, whenever you make a saving throw and fail, you can expend 1 focus point to re-roll it, and you must use the new roll. At level 15, you have Perfect Focus. When you roll initiative and don't use Uncanny Metabolism, you regain expended focus points until you have 4 if you have 3 or fewer. At level 18, you gain Superior Defense. At the start of your turn, you can expend 3 focus points to bolster yourself against harm for 1 minute, or until you have the incapacitated condition. During that time, you have resistance to all damage except force. Level 19, like with every other class, you get your Epic Boon. And then at level 20, Body and Mind. You have developed your body and mind to new heights. Your Dexterity and Wisdom scores increase by 4 to a maximum of 25. Yeah, man. So now we're going to move on into the subclasses. So, to start off with, we're going to go through the Warrior of Mercy after I take a short second to drink some water. Alright, so, Warrior of Mercy. They can manipulate the forces of life and death. Warriors of Mercy manipulate the life force of others. These monks are wandering physicians, but they bring a swift end to their enemies. They often wear masks, presenting themselves as a faceless bringer of life and death. At level 3, they gain Hand of Harm. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike and deal damage, you can expend a focus point to deal extra necrotic damage equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die plus your wisdom modifier. Hand of Healing essentially does the opposite. As a magic action, you can expend 1 focus point to touch a creature and restore a number of hit points equal to a roll of your martial arts die plus your wisdom modifier. Additionally, when you use your Flurry of Blows, you can replace one of the unarmed strikes with a use of this feature without expending a focus point for the healing. You also gain an Implement of Mercy at level 3. You gain proficiency in Insight and Medicine skills, and proficiency with an Herbalism kit. Then at level 6, you gain Physician's Touch. Your Hand and Harm and Hand of Healing improve. Your Hand of Harm. When you activate it, you can also give that creature the Poison condition until the end of your next turn. Then with Hand of Healing, you can also end one of the following conditions on the creature you heal: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned. Now at level 11, you gain the Flurry of Healing and Harm. When you use Flurry of Blows, you can replace each of the unarmed strikes with a use of Hand of Healing without expending focus points for the healing. In addition, when you make an unarmed strike with Flurry of Blows and deal damage, you can use Hand of Harm with that strike without expending a focus point for the Hand of Harm. You can still use Hand of Harm only once per turn. So it's essentially a free use of it. So that's not bad. And then at level 17... Oh, sorry, there's still a little bit more. You can use these benefits a total number of times equal to your wisdom modifier to a minimum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So at level 11, you should be pretty up there with your modifier and stuff, so it shouldn't be much of an issue. Then level 17, you gain the Hand of Ultimate Mercy. Your mastery of life energy opens the door to the ultimate mercy. As a magic action, you can touch the corpse of a creature that died within the past 24 hours, expend 5 focus points, and the creature then returns to life with a number of hit points equal to 4d10 plus your wisdom modifier. If the creature died with any of the following conditions, they come back with them removed: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, and stunned. Once you use this feature, you can't do it again until you finish a long rest. That is a damn good property. Alright, so this next one was a favorite back in the 2014 edition, and that is the Warrior of Shadow, formerly known as the Way of Shadow. Now, harness the shadow power for stealth and subterfuge. The Warriors of Shadow practice stealth and subterfuge, harnessing the power of the Shadowfell. They are home in the darkness, able to draw gloom around them to hide, leap from shadow to shadow, and take on a wraith-like form. So at level 3, you have Shadow Arts. You have learned to draw on the power of the Shadowfell, granting you the following benefits. Darkness. You can spend a focus point to cast the darkness spell without components. You can see within the spell's area when you cast it with this feature. While the spell persists, you can move in its area of darkness to a space of 60 feet of yourself at the start of each of your turns. You also gain Dark Vision if you didn't have it already, and if you did have it already, it increases by 60 feet. Then Shadowy Figments, Minor Illusion, and Wisdom is your spellcasting ability for it. At level 6, and this is the fun thing, you gain access to Shadow Step. While entirely within dim light or darkness, you can use a bonus action to teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see that is also in dim light or darkness. You then have advantage on the next melee attack you make before the end of your current turn. Then at level 11, that improves. You can draw on your Shadowfell connection to empower your teleportation. When you use your Shadow Step, you can expend a focus point to remove the requirement that you must start and end in dim light or darkness as a use of that feature. As part of this bonus action, you can make an unarmed strike immediately after you teleport. And then at level 17, you gain Cloak of Shadows. As a magic action, while entirely within dim light or darkness, you can expend 3 focus points to shroud yourself with shadows for 1 minute. until you have the incapacitated condition, or until you end your turn in bright light. While shrouded by these shadows, you gain the following benefits. Invisibility. You become partially incorporeal. You can move through occupied spaces as if they were difficult terrain. If you end your turn in a space, you are shunted to the last unoccupied space you're in, and then Shadow Flurry. You can use your Flurry of Blows without expending any focus points. So you are essentially a ninja. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy this subclass as much as we enjoyed it in years prior. Alright. So, Warrior of the Elements. This was always kind of a very thematic thing, but whenever I tried to experiment with it personally, it just felt a little underwhelming. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what they've changed with it. So, quick water. Alright, let's go. Warrior of the Elements. Wield strikes and bursts of elemental power. Warriors of the Elements tap into the power of the elemental planes, harnessing their supernatural focuses. These monks momentarily tame the energy of the elemental chaos to empower themselves in and out of battle. Elemental Attunement. At the start of your turn, you can expend one focus point to imbue yourself with elemental energy. The energy lasts for 10 minutes or until you have the incapacitated condition. You gain the following benefits while this feature is active. Reach. When you make an unarmed strike, your reach is 10 foot greater than normal, as elemental energy extends from you. Elemental Strikes. Whenever you hit with your unarmed strike, you can cause it to deal your choice of acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage, rather than its normal damage type. When you deal one of these types with it, you can also force the target to make a strength saving throw, and on a failed save, you move them up to 10 feet to or away from you, as the elemental energy swirls around it. This is already better than the last one. At level 3, you also gain Manipulate the Elements. You know the Elementalism spell, and Wisdom is your spellcasting ability for it. Then at level 6, you gain Elemental Burst. As a magic action, you can expend 2 focus points to cause elemental energy to burst in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point within 120 feet of yourself. You choose the damage type, Acid, Cold, Fire, Lightning, or Thunder, and each creature in the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes damage of the chosen type equal to 3 rolls of your martial arts die. On a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage. So you Hadouken the hell out of them. And then at level 11, you get Shrine of the Elements. While your elemental attunement is active, you also have a fly speed and a swim speed equal to your speed. And then at level 17, you gain Elemental Epitome. While your elemental attunement is active, you gain the following benefits. You have damage resistance to one of the following damage types of your choice: Acid, Cold, Fire, Lightning, or Thunder. And at the start of each of your turns, you can change the choice. You also gain a Destructive Stride. When you use your Step of the Wind, your speed increases by 20 feet until the end of the turn. For that duration, any creature of your choice takes damage equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die when you enter a space within 5 feet of it. The damage type is your choice of the elements that we've been listing. A creature can take this damage only once per turn, and you also gain Empowered Strikes. Once on each of your turns, you can deal extra damage to a target equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die when you hit it with an unarmed strike. The extra damage is then the same type dealt by that strike. Fantastic. A big joke that we had previously was that you're supposed to be the Avatar, and this feels much more like that. Like, that final thing you get really feels like you enter the Avatar state and just start going ham. Well, next up is the Warrior of the Open Hand. You are a master of unarmed combat techniques. Warriors of the Open Hand are masters of unarmed combat. They learn techniques to push and trip their opponents and manipulate their own energy to protect themselves from harm. So at level 3, you gain the Open Hand technique. Whenever you hit a creature with an attack granted by your Flurry of Blows, you can impose one of the following effects on that target. Addle. The target can't make opportunity attacks till the start of its next turn. Push. Target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed up to 15 feet away from you and topple. The target must succeed on a dex save or have the prone condition. We love ways to give people a prone condition. It is fantastic. Now, at level 6, you gain Wholeness of Body. You gain the ability to heal yourself as a bonus action. And you roll your martial arts die, and you regain a number of hit points equal to the number rolled plus your wisdom modifier, to a minimum of 1. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Then at level 11, you get Fleet Step. When you take a bonus action other than Step of the Wind, you can also use Step of the Wind immediately after that bonus action. And then at level 17, you get Quivering Palm. You gain the ability to set up lethal vibrations in someone's body. When you hit a creature for an unarmed strike, you can expend 4 focus points to start these imperceptible vibrations, which last for a number of days, equal to your monk level. The vibrations are harmless unless you take an action to end them. Alternatively, when you take the action attack on your turn, you can forgo one of the attacks to end the vibrations. To end them, you and the target must be on the same plane of existence when you end them. The target must make a Constitution saving throw or take 10 d12 force damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. You can have only one creature under the effect of this feature at a time, and you can end the vibrations harmlessly with no action required. That is so good! That is so good. Okay, so I know it's like days, yeah, but let me tell you, as a experienced player, I can't tell you how many times I've been like doing damage to a to an opponent, and the DM's like, you know, as a fellow DM, I know what's happening. It's, oh, this is a boss you're supposed to defeat later in the story, but this is essentially giving you the ability to hit them and then go and blow them up later. Or you can just do it immediately, which is phenomenal. I was a little underwhelmed going through here, but that alone is a very good feature. Well, that brings us to the end of Monk. Next time we will be going over Paladin. I myself am very, very fond of the Paladin class. It's not my favorite, but it's one of my top 3. I know it got changed a lot, and that's led to some controversy, but as someone who's played Paladin, it needed a little rebalancing. But that'll be next time. For now, what I want you guys to do is to like and share and do all that fun stuff. Have a good rest of your day. Don't forget to drink some water, otherwise you'll die. And just stay safe out there. See you next time, guys. Ooh.